You guys know I told you if I put a headband on, that means I'm having a horrible hair day. Well, guess what? It is one of those days, and now I can't even get this thing all. Now I can't even. Look at that sticking out. Oh my Lord. That looks horrible. So from time to time, I get budgeting questions about how do we pay for vacation? How do I pay for extracurriculars? What about groceries? Do I have a zero balance budget? And I've talked about all of these in separate videos, but I've never answered all of them in one video. So that is what I will be doing today. Hey you guys, I'm Kristen and welcome to The Gold Project. If you are new here, welcome. We hope you decide to become a part of our community by clicking that red subscribe button below. Also hit that bell notification so you are informed every time I post videos. I post videos at least 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on this channel, we have a mission to get organized on a budget and with a plan together. So today we're going to be talking about the budget part of that mission. So my husband and I, we are both teachers. I'm a teacher. I teach 7th grade keyboarding. My husband, he has many different hats. He is an oral comm teacher. Speech is what we used to call it. He also is a track coach, the head football coach, and he is in charge of some weightlifting. So he's got many different things that he does. So from time to time, I get asked budgeting questions like how do we afford a beach vacation in the summer? How are we paying off debt? And like, how do we pay for groceries? Do we budget for groceries? So I went through the other day and I made a list of 5 different questions that I'm going to answer in today's video. So I've answered all of them in separate videos, but you would have to really, go from video to video to find out the answers to each one. So I'm actually gonna answer them all in today's video, if I can find it in my notebook. I've written it in this notebook and now I can't find my page. Okay, bam, there it is. So we've got 5 questions and I'm going to go through every single one of them and share how we afford each one of these things. Before I get into any of the questions and answers, I really recommend that you watch my budgeting videos. It's going to be in a card above. If you click the little eye in the top right corner of the video, you will see some of my budgeting videos, and that is where I break down for you how I keep it all organized on paper. I use the Deluxe Monthly Planner to keep my budgeting ideas, every individual account organized, and I find that those videos are super helpful for you guys, and a lot of people have told me that they have really used them and they have helped them with budgeting. So definitely check those out before or after watching this video. So the first question I'm going to answer is, how do we pay for extracurricular activities for our kids? My daughter does competitive cheer, which if you've had anybody do competitive cheer, you know it's expensive. From choreography to new uniforms to shoes to bags to traveling for all of these competitions. We have at least 7 or 8 competitions and none of them are in town. To competition fees, you guys, you name it, t-shirts, it's very expensive. Also, my son does Taekwondo. He is 6, he just started that. It's not nearly as expensive as cheer, but we do have to budget for that as well because we just purchased him a summer outfit because his gi that he wears is really hot. So they have a t-shirt and pants that the kids can purchase for summer months. And then we took him to his first tournament a few weeks ago. He has monthly fees, he has weapon fees. So how do we pay for all of these things? You guys, when we pay something off or something gets dropped off of our budget, it may get dropped off, but it still gets taken into account into our budget. So Derek is in kindergarten. He's been out of daycare for 2 years, but we still account for the daycare fees. It just rolls over into something else. So every pay period, when I sit down with my monthly bill planner, make sure that you check that video out, I account for daycare, but instead of using it for daycare, I transfer it over into what I consider a cheer and taekwondo ledger. So I have different checkbooks for my household because it's just a way for me to keep everything organized and compartmentalized. I don't want it all in the same spot. So what I will do is deduct it from my main checkbook and then move it over into a separate ledger. So I know all of the daycare money goes to pay for those things. And it is enough, if not more, to cover those fees. So that is how I pay for extracurriculars. So the daycare fees are still accounted for. They just roll over and help with those extracurriculars. The second question that I'm going to talk about is one that I don't think I've ever talked about on this channel before. I can't remember talking about it, but I've been asked about it. And that is, how do we afford our summer beach vacation? This will be the 4th summer that our family has gone to Gulf Shores as a family for a vacation. This is something that once we moved and changed jobs that we were able to do for our family. Before 4 years ago, we would have never been able to do this because we did not have the extra money to pay for a beach vacation. But the first way is we get one beach house and there are 4 of us that split it. So it's my family, my sister's family, and then my mom and my sister-in-law all go in to pay and split fees for the beach vacation. And that way it makes it to where it is a super inexpensive way for all of us to get away, to relax and have a good time. Now, for our portion, it is not worked into our budget because we use our tax refund to pay for it. So we're not always sure what tax refund we are going to get, or if we're going to get one, or how much we're going to get. But we know that if we get a tax refund, the first thing it's going to pay for is taxes, and taxes, personal taxes. Our home taxes, we have that escrowed, so we don't have to account for that. It's into our monthly mortgage payment. So personal taxes, and then second is our vacation. So those 2 things, if nothing else comes out of the tax refund money, our beach vacation and taxes, personal taxes, are paid out of our tax refund. Anything else that we get from our tax refund, we keep it in our savings account for an emergency. An emergency as, hey, you need new tires, and that did recently happen. The third question that I get asked is, how do we pay off debt? That is a big thing for us right now. I will tell you that my husband and I, with our paychecks every time, we have basically maxed out the amount that we can let go of to pay off debt. So that means we have less in our checking account to play around with and to pay for groceries and all of that. But it is important that we get our debt paid off. And you guys, that is in one of the videos above over our budget planner. It is the one where I talk about our goals for the year. We do have a snowball. So snowball meaning we've worked on this for the past year or 2. So right now our snowball is basically where it's going to be. And the money that we have set aside is now paying off debt. And then once we get that debt paid off, that amount will get added to the snowball, and our snowball will continuously grow. So this year is a payoff year. So with that snowball money, that is how we are paying off debt. So you guys, I am happy to say we have one more payment to pay our flooring off, and then it will be completely paid off with 0 interest. We had 6 months to pay our flooring off in November, so that was our goal, was to throw all of the extra snowball money and anything extra that we got towards the flooring to get that paid off so that we would not have to pay any interest, and we have accomplished that goal. So once that flooring is paid off, then the money that we have been using to pay off on the flooring will go to something else. And I will pop up here what it's going towards because I can't say it out loud. So that is how we get debt paid off. It started out really small. by little, like $20 here, $20 there. But you guys, after you get that snowball going and it starts accumulating, it starts becoming hundreds of dollars that you can go to pay for something else. But remember that the snowball only works if you do. So if you know, hey, I've got an extra $100, make sure that you use that $100 wisely. Pay it towards your debt. Don't go out and buy new shoes. So that is what our mindset is. And how we make sure that that happens is we pay that immediately when we get paid. So we know that money is gone. We cannot go out and buy the shoes. So you just have to be financially smart, and you have to be focused on getting that debt paid off in order for it to start getting paid off. The fourth question that I am going to answer is, how do we purchase gifts? And y'all, this is the biggest thing. And you know, I could probably have a video on this separately. I cannot tell you. And you know, I've done this in the past. I've so done this in the past. We feel like that at Christmas time that we can't show our love and appreciation for somebody if we don't buy them a very expensive gift. You guys, gifts should not be the way. Somebody should love you unconditionally no matter what gift you give them. So the way, you know, we don't spend large amounts of money on family members. You know, we have a budget, like my sister and I, for example, we will spend $50 on each other. And that's it. We don't go out and buy each other $250 gifts. We spend roughly $50 and that's it. So the kids, like my sister spends about $30 each on my kids, and I spend about $30 on my nephew. So we don't go out and feel like that we need to buy all these toys for the kids and just show our love for them. Our kids have enough. They don't need extra things that are just things. We try to teach our kids that holidays, especially Christmas, it's not about the gift, it's about being together and about the reason for this season. So, but for the gifts that we purchase, you guys, I start way ahead of time. Like, I have already started buying things for this next Christmas. Normally, I start in about March on presents that I purchased for Christmas time. That makes it to where it's usually about $50 a paycheck that we account for gifts. So, you know, on the 10th paycheck, I've got $50. What am I going to purchase? On the 25th, I've got $50 to spend. What am I going to purchase? And I've had a lot of people ask me, how do you know what everybody wants? You know, I know there are things that last minute that I won't know what they want. For instance, toys. So those will be the last things that I purchase. But clothing items, things that I know that they always get, you know, underwear and socks and the basics, all of those can be purchased way ahead of time. And then if you purchase way ahead of time, you can definitely watch an item for sales. And that is what I do. So in order to make sure that I don't have to put extravagant amounts on my credit card and then be stressed to the max with debt after Christmas, I will start early and I will purchase a little bit every single paycheck. And the last question that I get asked the most often in many different ways, I wasn't sure how to even state the question because it's got many different elements, but in a nutshell, I get asked, do we have a zero balance budget? Meaning, do my husband and I take what we have and then divide it into categories until we've zeroed out our paycheck? And the answer is no. We did this for a few months, a few years ago, and you guys, I could not keep up with it. It was way too much budgeting because I'm in charge of the checkbook. And then my husband was in charge of the Excel document part of it. So he was putting everything in Excel. And you guys, we just don't have the time to sit down and make sure all of that is taken care of. So the way that we do it is, when we get paid on the 10th and the 25th, we pay all of our bills. And then whatever we have left is what we have to work with until the next paycheck. That is groceries and anything else, eating out, anything else that we may need to purchase, that's all we got. That is easier for us to do than to have a zero balance budget. It takes a lot, y'all, it takes a lot more brain power, and it was just way too much for us. It did not work for us. It was way too stressful, and I did not find it beneficial. So the way that we do it is we pay our bills when we get paid, and then whatever we have left, that's what we have until the next paycheck. So we have to make sure that we go to the grocery store with a list. If by the very end of a paycheck we don't have nearly as much money, then we start knocking things off the grocery list that we can do without until the next paycheck. So we make it work, and that's how we do it. So you guys, I hope this has answered some of your budgeting questions that you may have had for me over the last couple of months. I wanted to do one video answering all the major questions that I get asked. If there are any budgeting questions that I have not covered in today's video, leave those in the comments below. If I have enough questions, I will definitely do a second video to answer every single one of those. So make sure if you have a question, no matter what it is, leave it in the comments below and I'll write all of those down. And if I have enough, I will answer those in a second video. So you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you give this video a big thumbs up. By giving my videos a thumbs up, it shows YouTube you're engaged and you like my content, and they'll start suggesting it and recommending it to more people, which means our community will grow and will continue to spread positivity. Also, I hope you hit that red subscribe button to become a part of our community and our mission to get organized on a budget and with a plan together. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and until next time, bye you guys.